I am cold, I am emotionless, I am at peace, ready for war.
It's always going to be a party. It's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open.
You are behind. You off for 7 years. You are behind. You should have anxiety and you should have urgency and you should want to go. And you shouldn't try to run from that anxiety because that anxiety is telling you, hey, bro, it's time to get your gear. It's time to get going. You can't really lose if you decide to go because you're going to go down the path and you're going to face obstacles, and that obstacle is going to teach you a lesson. So by not going and talking yourself out, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of never gaining any skills and never making any progress.
Hard work brings great rewards. This is a reminder of the hard work and dedication that I've put into everything that I've done. I'm not content because I know where I came from and I don't ever want to go back.
How bad do you want it? There's two options. To continue forward, pushing upward. And if you do, that dream is given birth, and forever you will live in the reality of it. If you stop, quit, throw in the towel, I promise you there's no distance you can travel far enough to find that dream again. For it is dead. And in its death, it's replaced by regret.
The world needs people like you. It needs people to build. It needs people to create. It needs people to set an example. There's nothing wrong with you for being an ambitious person. The world wouldn't exist as we know it without ambitious people. The world wouldn't exist as we know it without creative people who are willing to pay the price to build what they see in their mind before anyone else sees it. Okay, so you are needed. You need to stop thinking that all these morons on the internet have it figured out. Unless you want their life, don't listen to them, dude, and start understanding that if you do listen to them and you're one of these people who was meant to come here and create, you're gonna waste your whole life trying to fit in a box with a bunch of people who aren't ever gonna accomplish a thing.
What would have had to have happened in a week for you to look back on that week with pride? Maybe stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m., and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win that you've got for the day. That's action.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Anyway, the views are better above ground. Honey, I'm 7 non-Fox years old now. My father died at 7.5. I don't want to live in a hole anymore, and I'm going to do something about it.
It won't get harder. Like, this is the hardest part. And so if you can just make it through this, everything else is downhill. It's not that the things that the dragons are going to slay aren't going to get bigger. They are. But you become so much more equipped to slay them back. And you have so many more allies. You have people in the stands cheering for you. You have the audience. You have all of these other things that are behind you. But in the beginning, it's just you with a stick against a bear. No one can learn it for you. It's like there's a lot of the things that we care about a lot. Like, no one can work out for you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. No one can learn skills for you. And so in the early days, like, it feels so painful because you're like, you look around to see who can help you, and then you're like, fuck, it's me again.
And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Expecting it to be easy is what makes it much harder than it ever is.
Rise, young warrior. You must get up. Your journey is not over.
I can't fight him. He has all my weapons. I have nothing.
When you began your journey, you were determined. Nothing could stop you. And now that you are so close, Are you willing to give up so easily?
What's the point of fighting my way up the mountain when someone else is just going to come up the easy way?
There is always going to be someone who does things the easy way. But that should not stop you from doing things the right way. It is your journey, young warrior. Only you decide when it ends.
Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. That ain't happening. You gotta get real doggish. You gotta get downright funky if you wanna make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you wanna be ordinary, you ain't even gotta listen to me. Just go on about your business. If you think ordinary is cool, ain't no problem. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. It's no other way. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category. Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your ass was asleep.
No matter how much emotion and feeling you may have or how much hurt you may have, life has to go on. Life doesn't stop for anybody. So if you don't process that and understand that, you're stuck in whatever time period you got hurt forever.